Salve! Mihi nomen Yaren est. Salve ad fūmus et cōgitāmus. Cheers if you're smoking with us. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. Those three words from Descartes, cogito ergo sum, have been making waves in philosophy ever since his meditations hit the publish. I actually don't know if that's true historically. I don't know when meditations got popping, so don't like quote me on that. I'm not a historian. Descartes' philosophical position that I have doubt, but do I have doubt? It's like, wait, I'm doubting that I have doubt. And so if there's doubt of doubt, there has to be a doubter who's doing the doubting. And by that same logic, if I am thinking, there has to be a thinker to do the thinking. And thus, if I am thinking, cogito, I think, that must mean there is a thinker. And so if my thought moves, cogito, there is a prior thought. I mean, there is a prior system, there is a prior being that can actually think those things. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore, sum, I am. Well, cogito, I think, ergo, therefore, sum, I am. Now the thing is, what people don't realize is that Descartes wasn't saying this as like a, Descartes wasn't talking about reality creation here. He wasn't talking about, oh, I think something, therefore I am that thing. I mean, that's actually kind of true, but that wasn't what we were getting at. Descartes was trying to figure out what is true at all. What exists at all? Do you know what I'm saying? And he was wondering, well, do I even exist? He was doubting his existence. But then he started doubting his doubt, and he's like, well, if I'm doubting my doubt, there has to be a doubter. If I'm thinking about my thoughts, there has to be a thinker. Correspondence. If I can doubt my thoughts, or if I can think my thoughts, if I can observe them, like the subject, the thought is the subject, or the doubt is the subject. But it's like, if you can doubt, that means that there is some like objective viewer who is seeing the subject and being like, well, is this even real either? Do you feel what I'm saying? And it's like, well, who's that doing the asking? Who's the doubter? Who is the thinker? Cogito ergo sum. In Latin, sum is a declension of esse, which is the verb for to be or to exist. There's sum, I am, I be, I exist. There is es, which is you, tu es. So it would be ergō sum, I am, tu es, you are. It would be est, he, she, it is. And then there's also sumus, we. There is also, like fūmus et cōgitāmus. It would be nos sumus. Nos sumus. I forgot, in Latin it's not just well, if I'm gonna give you the whole thing, right? I'm gonna do you some Latin. If I'm gonna teach you some Latin here and help me as a Latin learner. So ego is I, sum is like the declension. But all these like sum, es, est, sumus, estis, and what was the last one? Sunt. All of those already hold the subject. So like sum already says I because it's sum. Do you feel what I'm saying? Like sum means be or exist for I. It's a first person word inherently, right? Just like es is. And then est is like third person. So sum, I, is first person existence. Or sumus, but not singular, like sum is, but plural. So ergō sum or nos sumus. Then there is second person, so that would be tu es, or vos estis. There we go. Vos estis, which is you all are. So plural you, plural second person. And then third person, which is he, she, or it, that would be I believe it's id. No, it's fuck. I always forget the ones for like he and her. I believe she is ea, and I know it is id. I always forget what with like he is. But then it's est. So there's sum, there's es, and there's est. First, second, third person, singular. Third person plural is sunt. So like Italia et Europa, Italia et Graecia in Europa sunt. Italy and Greek and Greece are in Europe, right? And so there is, give me a sec, my brain's not working here. I'll just run through all of them again. We have ergō sum, or sum. We have nos sumus. We have tu es, or vos estis. And then we have like whatever like he is, and then ea, id, est. Or we have, I don't know the plurals for those either. And then we have sunt, right? And that would be for like plural they, right? Third person they. And so like, the thing is, a lot of people like in English translations, sum just gets translated to like I am. But really in Latin, sum, like esse, which is like what all of the words get inflected into, like declensed into, right? Esse as like the root word. It wasn't just about like I am. It's like I exist, or it's like I am in this state. It's about being, right? And so a devotional interior translation of cogito ergo sum would be, I think, therefore I exist. Or cōgitāmus ergō sumus. Cōgitāmus ergo sumus. That one's good. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. I just had to turn this back on because I'd watched the video back. It was 11 minutes. And I had a few things where I was like, honestly, me not explaining that doesn't matter. But this is actually really important. Because the metaphysics, we have to be precise here. The thing is, when it comes to sum can name something that is absolute or something that is relative. And what I mean by that is something that always is and is regardless absolute, eternal, or something that is relative, shifting, temporal, space-time related. And the thing is, all things within our polarized universe have both. Because all things come from the one absolute, and all things are in relation to each other within creation. And creation itself is relative. And so we have to actually consider the absolute ontology of something and the relative ontology. And basically what Descartes was actually doing was observing his relative ontology of like a thought process or like a doubting process, right? It's like, well, if doubt exists, there is a doubter to do the doubting. Or like, if doubt is like, if I am doubting, doubt exists. If I am observing this doubt, I am observing something real that exists. Or is it even real? Are my observations even real? Are my doubts even real? Right? It's like eventually the doubting gets flipped back on the doubter. But then you actually come to this realization of like, well, if I am doubting my own doubt, there has to be some doubter to observe the doubt that isn't actually the like shifting relative doubt itself, but is something more true in like absolute, so to speak, a first principle, a first cause. And now the thing is, there are absolute first causes and there are relative first causes, and that's a whole nother conversation. The game's deep. But what we're going to talk about here is just how in Latin, all like the words esse, right, that came, declension, that declined from esse, sum, est, sumus, estis, sunt, they all can actually address either something that is just absolute, something that just is. Like, schola est, schola mysteri est, schola mons est, mons magnus est, mons altus est. That's it. It's like, I could translate that for you, but I probably don't need to. Those are the first 5 lines to Illuminatus, by the way. You can check out the reading if you want. Actually, I'm gonna make a new one. Actually, I was transcribing it this morning. Let me show you. Yo, forgot I did the Catullus. Shout out to Goat. We vamos me a lesbiat quamemus. Ah, fuck, I fucked that up. We vamos me a lesbiat quamemus. Illuminatus. You know, actually, let me read you this too. Unicum. Unum est omnia. Omnia sunt unum. Unum est omnia. Et tamen unum est amplius. Unum est multa. Multa sunt unum. Multa sunt unum, tamen multa sunt alia. Multa sunt unica. Unicum est multa, unica sunt omnia. Mons altus est, via longa est. Mediator montem ascendit. Quo? Illuminatus. Mons magnus est. That was pretty easy. Via longa est. You know, the thing is, like, there's something, like, so clarifying about Latin's declensions. It's like, there's a reason Latin survived as, like, the language for, like, scholarship, for theology, for law, for philosophy, for, like, thousands of years. Or at least 1,000, after it was no longer like a natively spoken language. Like, Latin literally just drifted into the Romance languages, but it got preserved, and it kept being used, and it kept being like the bar for so long. And for me, I think that, like, tells us something about what this language can do, and, like, how it orientates the mind and the perception. Because the thing is, all languages are thought systems. And so, like, when we understand that, like, sum is a lot deeper than just, like, I am in this current existence, like, relatively. I am in this state of being right now, or I am kind of, like, feeling something right now, or I'm somewhere right now, or, you know, I am relatively this thing in comparison to something else. Like, whatever it is. It also actually names and orientates to absolute nature. It's like, via longa est. Think about that. It's like, that's like way different than the road is long, the way is long, the path is long. However you want to translate via. Via longa est. It's not the same. Like, I think, therefore I am. It's like, it's good, it is. But cogito, ergo sum. I don't know, man. For me, I feel like Latin is so amazing at capturing, like, the levels of, like, causality, absolute and relative, at the same time in its thought system, and how it operates, and how it declines its words, and how it inflects, and how it shows relationships and syntax. Shit, like what I read you earlier with Catullus. We vamos me a lesbiatquamemus. Right? Like, we vamos, remember? Us. What's that? We. That's viva is life. Live. Let us live, my lesbia. Atque amemus. Amemus is we love. Let us love. Let us live, my lesbia, and let us love. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, we didn't have to use all those words in line. We said we vamos. And I don't know, it just, as much as what I just translated to you in English was very beautiful and poetic. It's like, it's not we vamos, mea lesbia atque amemus. Like, it's not just let us live. It's like, let love exist here and let us participate with it. Let us understand this absolute thing and let us recognize our relativity to it and let us participate. Cogito as the inflecting meaning, like I think, right? There's cogit, which is think, thought. Cogito is I think. Cōgitāmus. Fūmus et cōgitāmus. Ergō. Ergō is our hinge word. It's like, okay, in this case specifically, because of this is the case. That's what ergo means here. That's why therefore is like a good English translation. So, I am. But not just I am, like I exist. Like I have to have some kind of fundamental existence. Because if I don't, how is there an observer doing this thinking and doubting this doubting? How am I observing my thoughts and doubting my doubt from observing those doubts? If there's not something more fundamental than those things that are relative and temporal in space-time. If there's not something more absolute that is true. Cogito, ergo sum. Cōgitāmus, ergo sumus.